Now for baby, you want to make sure you have a onesie. A lot of people say that, some, and it's true. Some babies are born big
Mm-hmm.
and they don't need newborn clothing. But there's also babies, because, I guess if they don't need newborn clothing, the next size up would be 0 to 3 months.
Right.
That can be kind of big for a brand new newborn. Like I remember I did bring Jasleen newborn clothing,
Mm-hmm.
and then I brought one onesie that was 0 to 3 months because I was like, I don't know what her weight is gonna be, so I'm gonna be prepared for both scenarios.
Right. Hello, I'm Tijani Musa.
And I'm Yasmin Musa, and this is how we're doing it.
Welcome to our How We're Doing It. Here we share stories about our journey and experiences of being first-generation college graduates, our family, buying our first home, moving across the country, and living a debt-free lifestyle. We do so in an authentic, fun, and educational way to help other first-generation immigrants with similar paths. So, what's happening today, Mrs. Yasmin Musa?
Today we're gonna be talking about packing the hospital bag. Since I glossed over it on another episode and you wanted me to expand on it, I decided that it can be its own episode.
Yes, of course, because this is important. I feel like when we're recording one episode, we would say something that is also important that I feel like the listeners deserves more information on. And that was the reason why I would bring up things in the middle of one episode so that we can remember to go back when we listen to it. We can remember to go back and take notes and be like, oh, that's important. The listeners can benefit on that. And that's why we're bringing you this episode today, because this is one of those episodes that you just have to do a couple weeks, maybe several weeks before your due date. Because the truth is, the baby could come anytime and you never know when the baby will come. And so for that reason, this episode is important. So let's get into it.
They actually say that you should pack your hospital bag between 32 and 35 weeks because you can pretty much go into labor at any point.
At any time. Yep.
Yeah. And in case it comes earlier than expected, you're ready. We've shared a little bit about our journey and how for us, the day we were going to the hospital, we didn't know that's where we were going. We thought I was going to work that morning and, you were
Also
going.
getting ready for work.
Yeah, also getting ready for work. So when we found out, hey, it's time to go to the hospital, it made it that much easier because our bag was already packed. Both of our bags were already packed and we had everything ready to go.
Yeah. It's very important, like Yasmin was saying. So let's get to the list of things. Which one do you want to begin with? You want to talk about the mom's side of it and I'll talk about the dad's side. Is that fair?
Sure.
All right. You go first. Ladies first.
So for mom, one thing that I think is really important is comfy PJs. And if they're nursing friendly, that's an added bonus because you want something that either has like buttons that you can button down, something that would have easy access for you to be able to nurse. You want to bring, I think this one's really important too, like dark, comfy pants. Dark because, after you have the baby, you're basically going to start a long period. You start bleeding immediately after you have the baby. So you need, for me, I just felt more comfortable in dark. I always feel more comfortable in dark pants when during that time of the month. Yeah. So that was, I thought that was a good one. Another thing is a good nursing bra. And you want to make sure it's also pumping friendly. I think that's one thing I didn't know. I did bring nursing bras, but remember I had to start pumping from the beginning, from like hour one. And so I didn't have a good pumping bra where I could stick the flanges in. And honestly, I think part of it was just I didn't know. You don't know what you don't know. I didn't know I needed it.
Right.
But now looking back at it, I wish I would have packed that. A robe, I would say it's it's not necessarily a necessity.
Mm-hmm.
It's more so if you want to be comfortable around the hospital room. Um, it can, it can be chilly in the room sometimes, so that might help keep you warm. You want to make sure you bring an outfit to take home. And I guess anything you would want to wear for like pictures.
Mm-hmm.
If if you and your husband are coordinating like a certain color that you want to wear, or whatever you're wearing, you want to bring that. Some comfy slippers are important, or socks that have like those things where you don't slip.
Yep.
The non-slip ones, those are really good too.
Unless you plan on skating at the hospital.
I mean, the hospital will have some, but they're like
Yeah.
really big sometimes, and
Yeah, they're oversized because
oversized,
it's all size fit all.
yeah, and not the comfiest. They're also not the cutest.
Yeah.
I didn't mind the non-slip socks that they provided. I did bring my own slippers though.
Yeah.
One big thing is your chapstick. You're gonna need chapstick. Your lips are gonna get dry. Just bring them.
Yes.
And then the nipple balm. That's a big one. I knew that I needed to have that at home, but I didn't know I should bring it to the hospital. And then, with pumping and then with the pain of nursing, I definitely needed it. Colored pillowcases. If you want to bring like your own pillows and your own blanket and your own, just make yourself comfortable, as comfortable as you can. I would bring colored ones because everything they give you is white. So you want to make sure you have something that stands out.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to need like toiletries, like a toothbrush, toothpaste, mouthwash, body wash, shampoo, conditioner, lotion, deodorant, a razor if you think you'll be there long enough that, you need to shave.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say just things that you're comfy in and, that are friendly to nursing, friendly to pumping if you're going to do that, friendly to easy access for the nurses as well, because they're also still checking you. Like the nurses would come in and, still check on my belly. I had a C-section, so they had to check my incision site and make sure everything was okay.
Yeah. And with these things, it's hard to say like a specific number, right? Like for example, the pajamas, and it depends on where you are. Like for example, for us where we were, access to the hospital was about a 35-minute drive. So if you're listening from a rural area and your hospital is farther away, you have to calculate that too. Would one PJs be enough, or in case you forget something, you forget an item, are you able to easily just drive home, or your partner driving home to grab something, or a family member bringing you something? This is all something you also have to consider. And going through the list for a dad, the items that you pack as a father to be, it's similar to what Yasmin went over in her list, except for certain items, like you don't have to worry about nursing bra or any other particular items pertaining to what the mom would use with the baby. So for example, pajamas, highly recommend to bring pajamas, because the place where you're gonna sleep, the chances of you sleeping on a bench or
like
a sofa couch is high. So it's not a comfortable spot that you're gonna sleep on. If I remember, I think I slept on top of like a AC unit or something like that.
No, you were next to an AC unit. It was like a bench next to an AC unit.
Yeah, the couch was next to the AC unit. And so it's not a comfortable place. But if you have comfortable outfits, it helps. And a nice blanket too. Comfortable outfit while at the hospital is a plus. Outfit for going home, like Yasmin was saying, is also recommended, just in case, when you're outside with the baby, you want to take extra pictures, you're ready for that as well. Toothbrush, toothpaste, mouthwash. Don't forget those. Body wash, shampoo, deodorant. Deodorant is important because you don't want to stink. You know what I'm saying? So it's a stressful time with a lot of emotions going up and down, and the chances of you sweating, or should I say glistening, is higher. So bring that deodorant so that you can smell good for the baby as well. You want to smell good enough that the baby would want you to hug them.
The
All
baby doesn't know.
right. The baby knows your smell.
It knows the mom smell.
Oh, okay.
It learns dad's later as they
Okay.
bond.
All right. That's a perfect one. You don't want the baby's first introduction to your smell as a stinky one. So bring your deodorant.
In Jasline's words, stinky.
Exactly. Like literally your baby will start speaking to you right there on day one. So you don't force them to grow too fast, okay? Enjoy the time. All right. For men that are so passionate about their grooming things, recommend to bring shaving gel and razor and slippers. Yasmin mentioned slippers. Also bring slippers as well. Pillow and blanket, bring those. Boxers and socks, important. Yasmin was just saying they provide you anti-slip socks at the hospital, but they are the ugliest socks, and then they're also all size fit all. The chances of them fitting you is the same chances that you get of them not fitting you. Back to you.
I just remember our room being very cold, and those
Yes.
blankets that they give you are so thin. Like you really need to like bring. I'm thinking like winter season, you need like your winter like cobija. Do you know what a
Yeah.
cobija is? Like your winter blanket.
Yeah.
The one, my Latinos know, the ones with the designs.
Yep.
That's what I wish I had.
The heavy
one
one.
with the animals, the tigers.
That's right.
I wish I had that because I was so cold.
Yeah, the cold is because it for some reason I don't maybe I didn't check, but we didn't. I don't think that we could have controlled the AC unit. I think it was just up hospital operated.
I think
I don't
it was. I think you asked about it.
Yeah,
but,
we couldn't control the AC
The other
unit
thing too is
in
you're
our room.
moving from like one room to another.
Right.
So like the room where we were delivering the baby, that room was fine. But then the one where I was after having the baby, like where we were in the recovery.
Mm-hmm.
No, is that what they call it? Recovery unit? No.
It makes sense.
Postpartum, maybe the postpartum unit. I don't know what it's called, but the room where we went to after we had the baby,
Yep.
that room was the one that was cold.
Yes, and that's the room that we stayed at longer.
Yes,
That's where we were until we were discharged.
we were there for what, 2 nights?
Yeah, until
Yeah.
we were discharged. Yep.
Yeah.
So that's the room. So yeah, just being prepared, helps you. It saves you headaches as well.
Now for baby, you want to make sure you have a onesie. A lot of people say that some and it's true. Some babies are born big and they don't need newborn clothing. But there's also babies, because I guess if they don't need newborn clothing, the next size up would be 0 to 3 months.
Right.
That can be kind of big for a brand new newborn. Like I remember I did bring Jasleen newborn clothing, and then I brought one onesie that was 0 to 3 months because I was like, I don't know what her weight is gonna be, so I'm gonna be prepared for both scenarios.
Right.
You want to bring whatever outfit or swaddle or blanket, whatever you choose for your photos. If you have like any props for that, make sure you bring that as well. The baby's gonna need their going home outfit.
Yep.
And then a backup outfit, because things happen. Trust me, they can have a blowout. Things happen. Just have a backup.
Oh yeah. Have a backup to the backup.
A backup to the backup. Yeah.
Yep.
For in my culture in Mexico, I don't know if this is all of Mexico, but in my family, I should say, babies come out of the hospital in yellow outfits. And so
Why yellow? Is it because of money?
I think they said it's for good luck. That's what my mom told me when I asked.
Okay.
So when my sister had my nephew Leo, we got him a yellow outfit. And then when Jasmine, when I was pregnant with Jasmine, my mom looked and looked and we found one, but it wasn't the size correctly.
Oh
It
yeah, I
was
remember
too
that.
big.
Yes.
So I ended up bringing the one that Leo left the hospital
Yeah.
into, which, thinking about it, like, yellow's such a bad color to bring a baby home in because our baby had jaundice.
Yeah.
So she was looking yellow and
That
then a
was
yellow outfit.
yeah. So she was all like camouflage and pale through. Just
She was
look.
a little chick.
She looks like the outfit.
Too funny.
She came
But
out with,
hey,
with fashion.
you know what? Like, maybe it's true, maybe it's not. I know it's probably more superstitious than not, but it was important to my mom, and to a certain extent, I was like, okay, why not? You know, she can come home in yellow.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, she was very passionate about it.
She was.
Yeah.
Like, my mom, at the time, we didn't live in Texas yet, and remember, she had traveled to Texas. She went to El Paso, and she was looking for an outfit
Oh
for
yeah,
the baby.
everywhere.
Yeah, she looked everywhere.
So yeah, we had no choice.
Yeah.
Guess what? We bring home from the hospital in Sierra Leone. In my family.
Oh, I don't know. Nothing?
Uh,
Diapers?
I mean, for one, I was not born in the hospital. That's one.
Okay.
And number two is we bring home whatever my mom could afford at the time.
True. I would say
So-
that's similar to Mexico.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, from what I remember my mom telling me, she said that for me, she had a bunch of clothes because she had had a baby shower and all the things. But then for my sister, she had nothing because she had given everything away. And so when my sister was born, she was born in the summer. My mom bought her a pair of shorts. So she came out in shorts that fit her like pants.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm more like on Yenny's side of the story.
Yeah. That sounds like it.
Yeah.
Other things for baby, you want to make sure you have blankets. It's cold, and the hospital will have some blankets, but they're also kind of those thin ones.
Mm-hmm.
You want to make sure you have a hat or a bow for your baby, depending on the gender of the baby.
Mm-hmm.
You want to have socks for the baby. And then the hospital will provide things to like a certain extent, right?
Right.
They might have socks. They'll give you the diapers. They'll give you like blankets to swaddle the baby in. But if you want to bring anything else that's like specialty or that you got specifically made for your baby, then you want to make sure that you bring that. Mittens is a really important one. So they're so teeny tiny, but they have long nails. And so you want to make sure that you protect themselves from their own nails because they'll scratch and hurt themselves with their long nails. So those mittens are really important. A pacifier, if you are going to choose to give one to your baby, and a car seat. That one's a must. Like, they will not let you leave the hospital without your car seat.
Yeah, that's highly...
Actually, the baby needs to be strapped in the car seat
Yeah.
to leave the hospital.
Yeah.
They don't even let you walk outside and just be like, oh, yeah, I'll put the baby in the car seat. Nope. The baby leaves in the car seat.
Yeah, absolutely. And before I go into the next section of things to bring, it's also worth mentioning that it's probably a good idea to call the hospital or maybe call your insurance company and ask them what are some of the things that you potentially expect them to provide at the hospital for you, or what are some of those things that are covered. Because for us, we know that they give us like a pacifier from the hospital. We actually asked for a second one. I think I remember doing that because we were using the same one over and over again.
I think you're confusing it because the pacifier time you're talking about, I think, is when we ended up at Children's.
Oh, maybe
we didn't ask.
the hospital didn't.
We didn't give her a pacifier when she was in the hospital.
Okay.
When she was a newborn, we didn't give her one.
All right. Thank you for correcting me on that. But I guess the message is that call your insurance company, communicate with them, and ask them questions. The more questions, the better. Okay. So now the next section is these are extra things that you should also consider bringing, especially because you need your phone. So bring phone chargers. That's one of them. Bring lots of snacks for you, the partner, and then also for the mom. So bring lots of snacks. Bring your iPad, books, playing cards. For me, I brought my laptop because I was studying for a midterm. Uh, when my daughter was when we went to the hospital, so I had my laptop and I had my books, textbooks that I was studying and getting ready for the midterms. But I only lasted so long because when it was game time, I took everything and threw them away. So another thing that you can bring is birth affirmation cards and a playlist. You can bring music. Like for me, I played music for my wife just to calm her down, and she enjoyed those. We did
Remember we danced at
yep,
one point.
we danced and just so she can
Labor is long, guys.
yeah, it takes time.
It's not like you see it in the movies, like, oh, 1, 2 pushes, you're
Nah,
done.
yeah,
No.
it takes time. It's a process,
Mm-hmm.
and it's different from person to person because you never know what to expect. Bring your ID and insurance information. It's important because when you check in at the hospital, they ask for these things before they even afford you a room. You have to show your ID and insurance information. Bring a small fan. That's just an extra tip.
I think that's more so for when during the labor.
Right.
And like also sometimes, I mean, I remember towards the end of pregnancy, I was just hot all the time too. Just,
Yeah. Yeah.
you're so big by
It's one of those
then.
things. Yeah. Everything just seems stuffed.
Yeah.
Bring. Go ahead.
Uh, no.
Bring photo props, birth info, and name cards or name boards. We mentioned that already on the list that Yasmin was talking about. In case you want to take pictures with you and the baby, and you really have the time to set up props, you
Yeah.
can bring that thing.
I would say bring headphones for yourself as well.
Oh yeah.
Um, like I remember you were studying and I wasn't. I was on Netflix, like watching shows. I love. I think the day I went into labor, the new season of You had came out, so I was trying to binge that.
Yeah.
But binging to You while delivering and in labor wasn't like the best. So I think I switched it up. I just changed it to other things. But
Yeah.
I remember being bored. Like you're just kind of waiting it out.
Yep. Yep. Definitely bring those earbuds so you can enjoy your music as you wait.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I would say very last thing, bring your positive vibes. You
Oh yeah.
are going to have a baby. You want to make sure you're excited. You want to make sure you bring that excitement. Yes, it's scary. Especially I feel like with both labor and delivery, there's so much that is out of your control.
Mm-hmm.
But if you bring a positive attitude and, just you go into it thinking the best,
Yeah.
right? Expecting the best outcome,
Yep.
when you pray about it and you really, go into it thinking positively, I think it makes a big difference.
It could go a long way.
Mm-hmm.
And just to reiterate what we talked about, remember to check with your healthcare provider for any specific items they may require you to bring. Also, have your hospital bag packed and ready to go a few weeks before your due date, just in case your baby decides to arrive earlier than planned.
They say you should actually start packing it around the 3rd trimester.
Yep, there you go.
So probably, but what did I say? Like between 32 and 35 weeks, you should have it ready, but you should start packing it around the 3rd trimester.
Yep. Exactly. So that wraps up today's episode, Unpacking Your Hospital Bag for New Parents. As you embark on this incredible journey into parenthood, make sure you're well prepared. If you enjoyed these packing tips, share the episode with other expecting parents. Wishing you a smooth delivery and joyful transition into parenthood. Tune in for the next time on